Adventure and fantasy writer Robert Irvin Howard moved in 1919 to this home site with his parents, Dr. Isaac and Hester Howard. Robert E. Howard wrote hundreds of stories spanning several genres and more than 700 poems in his bedroom at this site. Robert began writing at an early age when he was about 8 or 9 years old. Robert's mother enjoyed reciting poetry to him and encouraged his writing. He started working to get his stories published when he was 15. At the age of 18, Robert sold his first story, Spear and Fang, to pulp magazine Weird Tales for its July 1925 issue. Shortly after the Howards arrived in Cross Plains, so did an oil boom. Robert observed the negative effects an oil boom can have on the townspeople, which contributed to his philosophies in many of his stories. Often his stories told about the corruption of civilization and the rise from and plummet into barbarism, with one moral man against a multitude of immortal adversaries. In his last few years, Robert left clues of his suicidal mood through his poetry, as well as making plans in the event of his demise. He had become primary caretaker for his mother, who had contracted tuberculosis. Just 3 days after his mother slipped into a coma, Robert committed suicide on June 11, 1936. His mother died the next day, and on June 14th there was a double funeral. An internationally known author and father of the sword and sorcery subgenre, Howard's stories have influenced several generations. His works have been translated into 23 languages. Decades after his death, Robert E. Howard and his characters are still being studied, published, filmed, role-played, and enjoyed.